In every great film, there's a silent force. Color grading is that force. It's the process of adjusting the color, contrast, and other elements of an image or video to create a stylistic look. But color grading isn't just about visuals. It's about feeling. And no one in the NFL understands this better than Marcus Jones, who's just as multifaceted off the field as he is on.
What's up, guys? It's Marcus Jones here, defensive back for the New England Patriots, and we're here today to talk about color grading.
And Marcus Jones, Johnny on the spot. The dude does play 18 positions.
What's crazy how I got into color grading is I got to salute my girlfriend, Imani. She was the one else telling me that I need to, capture content. And whenever that happened, I ended up diving deep into the camera world. Then I heard about this thing called log footage, and I was like, let me start, learning a little bit about that. Then it kind of got into the sense of, all right, I got to get into color grading if I want my image to look good. Let me record everything in log, so it's forcing myself to end up getting better with color grading. I started learning a lot about color grading from YouTube University. Was always staying on the phone and watching videos, staying on my laptop, and then just taking it day by day of like, all right, I'm gonna try to get better with luminance. Like, all right, I'm gonna get better with the look. All right, now I need to get really good with shot matching. I feel like the motivation comes from the sense of, I watch a lot of videos. I see something that's better than mine. Let me go ahead and do a little bit better. Sitting down, looking at a computer all day can't burn yourself out, but also I have another job that's football. So that kind of keeps me in the sense of always being in front of the computer. I got my job that I also have to do. So whenever I do come back, it's always refreshing because I don't see it as work. I see it as like working on myself to be better at something. My mindset too is like either I'm progressing or regressing. My dad's kind of the same way as well, so I feel like I get that dedication from him. And also my mom, like they're never one-dimensional. It kind of instilled that into me, so I'm like, all right, I need to learn something else. All right, I got that, let me learn something else. How it would go is usually I'll end up, going to practice, going through meetings and everything. And then whenever I do get home, it's like, all right, this is my way of stress relief in a sense. Going up and coloring images. Most people might think it's taxing or a lot to the mind, but I'm like, man, I just love ended up, starting from scratch with the image and then going in and dissecting and doing different things to where maybe it can show different ways of how I'm feeling. Time management is something that I'm really good at and I'm blessed to have. Playing ball and then also doing this and then building connections and doing more than just being a football player. Because whenever you're at the highest state, some people always want to put you in that box, but it's like, I can also do this as well and still perform high at this level. Attention to detail is a big thing in any sport that you play, but also discipline is a big thing too. In a professional league, like you have to end up being disciplined, making sure your eyes are in the right spot, making sure you move the right foot, you raise the right hand and everything like that on the defensive side. But attention to detail is very big when it comes down to color grading. Moving small things will make a big change. Whenever you are messing around and doing different things, you'll start seeing those differences.
Do you think you're the only player in the league that does color grading?
Honestly, I do feel like I'm the only person that want to sit in front of the computer all day and then mess around with color. So I feel like I am the only guy in the league that's color grading. First off, I'm not a professional colorist. However, this is a hobby that I love to do. And today we're going to be over here color grading in DaVinci. For the people that know, they know this is the best color grading platform that I'll say that you can use. And I have a mini panel as well, and this is where I'm gonna end up moving the dials and everything. It's a lot of stuff on here, but I promise you, I'll go through the things that, people that don't know need to know, and then we'll kind of go from there. So we have the first clip right here, and what I usually do is whenever I'm looking at a clip, I try to find the most brightest part in the clip, because what you don't wanna have is your highlights blown out. So this is how clips end up coming in. People shooting log, and the reason why they're shooting log is you could do way more colors and add way more saturation, whatever you want to add to the image. So the first thing that I have to do is I have a LUT actually that converts it from S-Log to the closest thing to an area camera. So I ended up putting that on there. So it came in like this and I put the LUT on it. So as soon as I end up putting the LUT on it, you can see these waveforms down here. It shows you a lot. So this is the luminance. So it's basically showing you the lows and the highs of the image. So as we keep going, you start seeing these little waveforms down here start moving, letting you know where's the highs and where's the lows. So after that, I ended up doing my exposure So my exposure shows just like this, you know, where the lights end up hitting and you show the most exposure, so I go there. And then I end up doing my white balance, which white balance is the color closest to what it really looked like in real life. So it went from having a little yellow into it, but then I end up moving it and having a little blue tone, because it's cold and it's nighttime, so usually around that time it's usually more darker blue. And then you can start seeing of like, all right, that's the look, and then you can go to the next clip. So on this shot, we use the parade. It shows you exposure as well, but it also shows you your red, green, and blue colors. I'm looking at this image and my blues are sitting a little higher than my red and my green. So if I wanted to make it even, then what I could do is turn my blues down. So that, and then we can get to the vector scope. Vector scope shows you the white balance. So it's letting you know. So in this image, it's showing me that my reds are really, really saturated. That's just the feel that I have for it. If I wanted to end up having this red go down, then what I could do is desaturate the image. And what I mean by that is go to saturation down here. There's multiple ways. There's no right way to do it, but there's multiple ways that you could do it. So if I desaturate it, look what it does. I'm desaturating the whole image. So I'm desaturating the blues, I'm desaturating the red and everything, but let's just say I don't want to do that. I want to just desaturate the reds only. Then what I would do is I will go down to hue versus sat. I'll click it, and then these little dots pop up. And what I would do is I would go here and I would turn it down. I turn down the red. And you know what's crazy is these dots are sensitive, so you don't have to do major differences and everything. So if I was to do that, now look at the image. It's just a little change. To the people that's trying to get into this, it takes a lot of patience. You don't have to have education for this or anything. It's just all about hard work and dedication. So it just depends on how much work you want to put into it. And with this, you definitely have to teach yourself. It's like you can't just sit with someone and then watch them and be like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Now this is very hands-on. You can sit down with someone and they do it, and then it gets in front of you, and then you're like, why does my image look like yours? Like, it's one of those situations of just having the knowledge. When it comes down to it, there's no ceiling when it comes to this, so you could always end up getting better. I have plenty of goals that I want to do. I definitely want to work on just any movie, any film. My guy Stefan at Company 3, he's doing it big over there. Just basically want to build with creators and just, you know, work on my craft and learn from the biggest of the biggest.